All right, well, let's get right on to it, guys. Spawning in the bottom left position as our green Protoss player. He's down 0-2. Can he claw his way up from the depths of hell? It is RoxKis Fraer. That was a little bit more dramatic than I think it needed to be. But spawning in the top left position as our yellow Zerg. Muta play the first game. Roaches the second game. I can't wait to see what he's got in store for us for this possibly final match. He is from Karante Esports Club, and he is VortiX. Well, Entombed Valley, I mean, if ever there was a Protoss map, this is a good map. The third base is very easy to secure, easy to put pressure on the Zerg third base if you want to. There's the pylon going down in the low ground. I love these unbuildable rocks, man. Oh my goodness, they're so much more fashionable than those supply depots. They're so tacky. Didn't fit in with the map at all. Probe moving in, gonna scout out. VortiX says, hey, you're making drones? No fast pool this game. Of course, we saw VortiX not afraid to pull punches. The last Entombed Valley game he played against Alive, he wasn't afraid to open up with the 10 pool. So we'll have to see what he wants to do here. He has 15 supply now. Should be dropping that spawn and pool. There we go. And he's probably going to try to get his hatchery down around 16 supply. Very standard. And Fraer just being annoying with this probe. VortiX is like, man, what a tryhard. You're down 0-2, man. Trying to duck me with that probe. It's like a boxing probe, but he's going to open with the Forge. So this is interesting. He scouted the pool timing, which would have allowed him to go for a Nexus first again, but he's opening with a Forge, which makes me feel like Fraer, he could be feeling cheesy. He's Probe's position to do some shenaniganery. Could try to drop a pylon, maybe do a little bit of the cannon rush. There we go. One pylon does go down. He's going to miss the second one. This is a dangerous position to be in for VortiX. He's going to try to block it off. Galsy style, man. He's got that probe locked in. His Forge is going to complete, and this is going to be a cannon rush. This is a pretty funny way to cap this match, I think. I'm not sure this is going to stop VortiX. Immediately gets the Spine Crawler, but cannons build faster than spines. Cancels one of the pylons and gets 2 cannons. I have to say, it's Ukraine. Seems more like Iceland to me, but... there we go. 3 cannons building. He's got Zerglings and drones. I feel like he's going to be able to stop these cannons from building, honestly. They don't have too much health. Spine Crawlers should be able to hit this cannon from the high ground. He's trying to build additional buildings. But Fraer, I think he's given up. His cannon rush is going to get stopped. Once this cannon dies, so will his chances at this game. The Spine Crawlers should be able to hit them. But this cannon actually provides pretty good support. If he targets down the drones, he should be okay. But the Spine should beat the cannon one-on-one, even with the probe supporting. He's going to try to start additional photon cannons. But that Spine's going to actually die. That cannon has 5 health. The probe attacking that actually counted. Oh my goodness, the Queen comes and finishes it off, though. Looking at the workers kill tab, though, it is even, dead even. And I have to say, that is a bit of an awkward position to be in. He has a cannon back at home, and it looks like he's going to get a Nexus up. So this match will continue pretty normally, is what it looks like. Yeah, there's the Nexus. I feel like VortiX is in a great position for holding off the cannon rush. But the worker count's actually the same. So I don't know how I feel. He's going to try to run these Zerglings past, but I mean the cannon's in a great spot. So he's not going to be able to get away with that. Pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. What an awkward game. But VortiX, I mean, he held it off just fine. He lost some units, but he didn't lose any drones, which is important. The last thing I'm going to do is economically get behind a cannon rusher. They'll follow up with Blink All In and kill you. Fraer trying to get that probe out. These Zerglings are like, no. No, you just can't leave. Sorry. Overlord poised over the third base, watching for any future canones. And Fraer is running his last... Is this probe? He's going to try to get some scouting information on the third base. He really wants to know whether or not VortiX is going for that similar style we saw in game number 1 with the Mutalisks. He wants to know if there's a third hatchery, and this probe will go all the way. He sees there's no third base. Probe goes down. Cybernetics core is on the way, though, and I have to say, this is a really late core. You know, this is what cannon rushing does. It delays everything. It really does. You 150 minerals per cannon. He tried to build a lot there, even if it was killed or canceled. That's a lot of resources. We look at resources lost. Fraer has invested a ton into his early pressure, and that's all minerals. Almost $1,000 in minerals basically thrown away at the start of the game. Didn't deal too much damage. We see a nice, very big lead for VortiX. So the Lair's on the way, Roach Warren's on the way, and I wouldn't be surprised if he just does another giant Roach bust and tries to straight up kill Fraer. This is going to be interesting. Queen. Oh, looking to eject. A Zealot somehow, I didn't even see how that thing got in there, but it almost gets a drone. Maybe it got one, actually. Yeah, it got one drone, so nice. Try to get a third one, but it gets taken out. How did he miss that? Is it not a vision of his ramp? No, that's weird, but the sentry's going to shove those units away. And yeah, Stargate opening this game. But that is not going to work versus this. We have Ventral Saxon Pneumaticized Carapace on the way, which is the Overlord speed and the Overlord drop ability. This is going to be very, very, very scary. I think opening Robotics Facility would have helped. He'd have Immortals, possibly Sentries to deal with this, but now his gas is going to go into those Phoenix. He only has one Sentry. This is going to be very, very scary. 2-base pressure to hold. He's going to take his third behind this, but I have to say, this is an interesting choice. But you know what? When you're up 2-0, you might as well go for a push like this. He's going to start his Robotics Facility now as a follow-up by getting the Phoenix, now that he has the Phoenix on the way. But the third base is a little bit more than halfway done for VortiX. These Overlords, though, they have their speed upgrade. Hydralisk is on the way for VortiX. He's up 30 supply, not even Justin Roaches. And +1 attack just now being started by Fraer. He needs at least another cannon or two and probably some more sentries. He's invested a lot of gas into getting his tech and upgrades, but he doesn't have the sentry count that he needs to actually stop this push. These Roaches are going to kill the Zealot. So Fraer knows there are Roaches. But this is kind of standard, at least, for this minute mark. You know, you have a couple Roaches to shove units away. It's not that unusual. Second Photon Cannon is going down. We have the Ventral Sax about to complete, so if he wants to go for a Roach Doom Drop, now is the time. He's making Hydralisks as well. I love this play. He doesn't even need the range upgrade just yet because he's going to be dropping on top of the Protoss army. And we have our first Immortal on the way. There are only 3 sentries, but force fields aren't going to do too much when your opponent drops on top of you. Phoenix, of course, not going to be able to shut this down. Where is that Phoenix? Yeah, he's actually going and trying to get an Overlord. Not the greatest amount of range. One Phoenix can lift a drone, can't do much else. And these Zerglings are parked over the third base, so he knows Fraer's on 2 bases as well. Although I feel like this big drop could and should just kill Fraer. There's a lot of units here for VortiX. He doesn't have any upgrades, but if he pushes now, he can hit before +1 finishes for Fraer. And I think that's what he needs to do. He wants to just build up a really large force, and there's nothing wrong with that. He's pretty much just going to go super all in with this, kind of like Enesoslo Suoshin style. But he wants to take out these rocks first, and I like this. He's kind of keeping his eyes open for the possible follow-ups that he'd have to go for. And these Overlords are moving now. He's got the Roach speed, the Hydralisk speed. He has to wait for the Overlords anyway. I don't know why he didn't just load them. But he's going to drone up behind this, get that third base saturated. And there are 4 gateways about to finish and a Robotics bay. So VortiX, he's got to go now. And, well, here we go. He's loaded up. He's moving in towards that natural. The Immortals and Sentries are by the rocks towards the third base. These Overlords will have nothing here to contest them, dropping these units all over that natural expansion, dumping their load. And here we go. He's taking out the probes, been moved away. He's taking out this pylon. He's trying to get some of the sentries. Some pretty solid force fields keep him away from the Immortals, but I don't think he needs to push forward to get them. He's going to kill the Robotics Facility, and that is huge. The Phoenix have arrived, and there's just the GG from Fraer. Just gives up. VortiX takes a quick 3-0 in this series. That is the final game of our matches today for the Russian Starleague, brought to you by Ripmix, sc2tv.ru. I hope you guys enjoyed the casting. I know I enjoyed watching these games. Last series fell a little bit flat. VortiX just clearly outclassed Fraer. There's really not too much to analyze there.